Hey everybody, it's John, and today I'm going to bring you the first home improvement project of hopefully a longer series of videos. As you can see, the weather's fantastic and summer's here, and we all want to have that nice breeze going through our home, but sometimes winter or animals or things can tear up our screen. So today I'm going to replace the screen on our screen door and show you just how easy this is. So if you're new to home improvement, or if you're just kind of looking for a refresher, follow along. This is one of the easiest jobs you can do. Okay, so here's the screen door in question. You can see the previous owners had cut a little flap out here so that their animal could get in and out, but there's also some damage here on the outside. So this allows lots of bugs to get in, so we're going to go ahead and take this whole thing off and replace it. Okay, what we're going to need for this project are four things. First, we have a flathead screwdriver. Next, in the center there is a bag of spline. I picked up a bag that has 3 different sizes because I'm not sure what size the door is going to take, so that way I'm covered either way. Next, we have a spline roller, which is the device there on the right, and a replacement screen in the back. I picked up all these things with the exception of the screwdriver at Home Depot for just under $20. Okay, the first thing we're going to need to do is get the door off of the track, and you notice there's a couple rollers sitting up here in the track. This is where the flathead screwdriver is going to come in. You're just going to wedge it in and pop these down, and it pops the door right out of the track, and then we can take it off. Okay, so now that we've got the screen indoors, the first thing we need to do is get the spline out. And the spline is this little rubber tubing that runs along the channel on each side. And I picked this corner because the spline didn't go all the way up to the corner, so this is a natural break. And before I started filming, I've already worked out and kind of worked up the beginning of the spline, but once you get the spline coming up, it'll just start pulling right out of the track. Okay, now with all the spline out, we're going to go ahead and just pull the screen right out as well. Okay, as you can see kind of by the edge of the rug here, the replacement screen's now been laid over the top. We haven't sealed it in or anything like that. We've just so far laid it over kind of for fitting. And because we don't need a whole bunch of extra screen, I got one size and it's going to be a little big for the door, but that's part of the plan. We're going to go ahead and cut it and trim it after. Next, we're going to take the spline roller, and you'll notice there's 2 wheels on here, and each wheel has a little bit different. This one's concave. You can see there's a little channel in the middle, and then on the other side it's just kind of a flat end. And we're going to go ahead and take the flat end one, and we're going to start making, we're going to kind of set the screen into the track here. So you just lay this down in the track and start rolling it, and this is just going to kind of form the screen around the track area. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and start putting in the spline for the new spline. So we're going to just kind of lay it along the track like this, and using the concave part, we're going to just press down on the spline and start pushing it into the track. Okay, so now you can see we've got most of the spline in on the track. We're all the way back to where we started now. So the spline should lay neatly in the track. Don't worry too much if the material gets bunched up. The screen will still look fine when it's over. So now you can see here, we've got the spline where we started and the empty track here. So I'm going to roll it in the rest of the way. And then we're going to have to cut the excess spline. And for that, we're going to use an X-Acto knife. I should have told you earlier that that's a required piece of equipment, but I forgot. So we're going to just cut it there and pop that spline down in. And then, now that that's all secure and our screen's in, the remainder of the job is to trim this up. So we're going to start cutting away the excess screen just on the other side of the spline going through the channel, just like this. So you can see it's starting to cut away here. And this is the part you want to kind of take your time and make sure the trim looks nice. So we're going to go all the way around the door frame just like this until we reach the other side. One other note I came across that I wanted to show you is sometimes as you come along towards the corners, the spline starts to rise up like that as you go, and it's okay. The spline roller doesn't get it as well. You just take your screwdriver and punch it down on in. Alright, as you can see, our screen is done, the spline's in place, we're ready to put it back in. But before we put it back in the track, there's one other idea to do, so let's go outside and I'll show you. So as you can see, the track where the door is supposed to go in is a little bit dirty, so with a little bit of canned air, you can just kind of spray out all the debris there, kind of keep those wheels being able to move nice and clear through there. So now we're ready to put the door back in. All right, so it looks like we're done. The screen's installed. There should be no bugs getting in the house, and it's working great now that we've cleaned out the track. So it took us about 30 minutes, and now we have a brand new screen. So whether you've just bought a home and the screens need replaced, or you're thinking about selling yours and you want to touch it up and give it a little better look, hopefully this video helps you learn something and you're ready to go, and that way you can move smarter. Thanks for watching.